Hello everyone, Eric Lima here, and good morning. This is my YouTube show in which my sentimental thoughts come from my heart. Also, when my mental oddball shenanigans come from my brain, it's EML77 TV, episode 610. What's going on, everybody? What is happening here? I'm going to give a shout out to 5 different YouTube channels, and the 4 of the 5 are locally... Our loco, as far as loco, here, not crazy or anything like this, in Spanish or anything like that. My mother, Cheryl Lima, has a YouTube channel. She hasn't uploaded any videos up as of yet. It's under the name Cheryl Lima. Give her a subscribe if you can. Also, the second channel that I want to give a shout out to is Young Nick Music. My good friend Nick Silveria, who visited my church not too long ago, as he decided to put a YouTube channel up. He messaged me saying, hey, giving my channel a shout out. It featured his parents who were musicians, and in the 90s, check out his channel. And my mother's cousin, Justin Oliver, not the guy from American Idol, but he's based in Massachusetts, of course. He graduated from the Berklee School of Music. Drum lessons serving Sudbury and Metro West. Check out his channel if you want to learn how to play drums and get tips on that, or just want like drumming videos, or you're a musician, you're a fan of music, and that's a good channel to support and subscribe to. And my good friend John Wheeler at The Hunted is his YouTube channel as well. I think he does play drums on his channel as well. I'm gonna check it out and see if drumming. He does a lot of drums too. So check out my good friend John Wheeler for that channel. So and he was my former boss working at the Dartmouth Mall at the time. So just give him a shout out. I give him a shout out and give him a follow. And one more channel I want to give a shout out to because it inspired me to talk about what I'm going to talk about today. Faded Commerce. It was all about malls gone by. Unfortunately, there were a lot of malls that he did video on that are no longer in operation. And one mall that started it all for his channel was none other than the Swansea Mall, a mall that I worked at 10 years ago. It's been 10 years. Oh my, it's been 10 years. And it's been a little crazy. Not long, 2 weeks ago, 10 years ago, I started a job at the Swansea Mall. And is the mall a dying breed? Yes. Unfortunately, yes. Before this whole quarantine, pandemic, social distancing, isolation thing started, the mall has been a dying thing. It's been a dinosaur. It's going extinct. In other words, shopping in the mall is going to extinct. Hanging out at the mall is going extinct, and everything else. With the age of the internet nowadays, it's become more apparent that it is. Back in the day when I was a kid, I used to enjoy going to the mall because of all the cool stores, the cool logos of all the stores, and it's too bad we're not allowed to bring in our cameras to take pictures and all that back in the day, because I would have kept all those pictures and then upload them on the internet, and it would have been so mind blowing to a lot of folks. But I do have some items here that do remind me of the North Dartmouth Mall back in the day, because we had some of the coolest stores ever. When I was a kid growing up, when I was all your youngins' ages out there, in my in my single digits, I used to, there's one store that was like the Walmart before Walmart. It was Zayre. Zayre was Zayre, not the country from Africa. It had the old school colors like the tan, brown, orange. It had the asterisk logo, like it's from The Price is Right or something like that. I don't know. They had the asterisk flower for a long time, but it was a different asterisk with the logo, the font and everything else was old school. Everything was old school. And there was a couple of my father got these 2 items. Now the items I have in my hand here were memory. This is a memory of that, and that's why I kept these. These were standard deck of playing cards. This is my first items I bought at Zayre. My father first bought me over at Zayre. Didn't cost much back in the day. And that's why I bought 2 decks, because I was a Card Sharks fan back in the day. You know you're a Card Sharks fan if you have a red deck and a blue deck of cards, and mostly the same brand, as well. So that's why I did this. And these were my first 2 decks of playing cards that I had when I was a kid back in the day. And I was fascinated with playing cards, because I think, with the face cards where, they were really cool. Now I still collect them, but I don't, mess around with them much. But it depends on what my mood is as a deck I would play with. And this is probably the most unique items I got. Recently I found them on eBay, and that is why I have decided to get them back. And it's, to this day, see the asterisk on top of this one, a standard. That was the Zayre symbol right there, and that's what the Zayre logo is. These cards were created in Hong Kong, British colony of Hong Kong, Zayre Corporation, Framingham, Massachusetts, 01701. That's right, Zayre was based in Framingham, Massachusetts, here in Massachusetts. It's crazy that it's no longer there. I mean, in 1990, it morphed into Ames at the Dartmouth Mall, and just since then, it's been mind-blowingly, now it's remembered all over the internet. And believe me, I have Zayre logo, I have a Zayre T-shirt, and just memories that would last me a lifetime. And I do miss Zayre, and Zayre was one of my favorite stores to go to when I was a kid growing up. And another store that I've liked when I was a kid growing up was none other than Woolworth. Woolworth was another store. It closed in 1997. I remember the final item that I bought there was a Florida Marlins baseball cap. And I think I bought it because when the Florida Marlins first won the World Series in '97, that was really crazy. That was crazy times. And the Marlins, when he came in '93, it's like the whole thing was the teal color was what really attracted me to the team. I'm not a Florida Marlins fan. I'm a Red Sox fan, but the logo, the color, that thought, I would look cool wearing a teal ball cap. You know what I mean? And it was even crazier. But there was a thing that I bought. I started collecting these. I collected these things, but I preserved one of them because I got rid of them because most of them weren't working and all that good stuff. But at Woolworths, I used to start collecting Tomy Pocket games. This is one of the Tomy Pocket games that I have. Burger Catch, and I used to do a little poem ditty when I was a kid doing this. I go, lettuce, tomatoes, beef, and bung, Burger Catch is on the run. And this is something that I used to buy at Woolworths. And Kmart was the other one. The Kmart across the street from the mall back in the day before Best Buy, Stop and Shop, Builder Square, and all those stores moved in. Kmart. It was Kmart, Almax, and Jimmy's Pizza were the 3 main stores at the Dartmouth Town Center West, I think it's called. We have a Dartmouth Town Center East. In Dartmouth Town Center West, it was GameStop, Barnes & Noble, all these stores back in the day. The 80s and 90s were a huge boom for malls. And back in the day, it's just, let me just, I'll straighten that out. They were huge back in the day, obviously, but now with the age of the internet, with Walmart and Amazon, eBay, and everything else, it's like he goes, and I think the reason why, and this is my personal reason, this is my personal theory on this, is because there were a lot of items that the stores do not have, the brick-and-mortar stores do not have, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry we don't have it, you only can find it, it's online. And that's the unfortunate, that's unfortunate, because it would have been great if some of these online stores were actually brick-and-mortar, you know what I'm saying? That way we can go in, hey, I remember this, I'll take this, and all that, it's like going on an online flea market when it comes to eBay. I bought a lot of these shirts. I bought this shirt on Amazon as well, and it's like because you don't see them in stores anymore, and that's probably the number one reason why most of the stores are on decline, because they don't have the items that we have that we want, and it's like how are we going to get and yeah, we're disappointed in those stores. We get mad. It's like, oh, I'm not doing my business. I rarely shop at the mall anymore, which is even crazier. I rarely shop at the mall anymore. I really do. And even even before this whole pandemic has happened, and we had to be socially distant. So you practice social distancing, isolation, quarantine at the time. Um, Back then, this is before all this happened. I rarely even shop at the mall anymore. I go to the work, punch in, work my shift, punch out, take my 15-minute break, punch out, get changed, go home, get out. I usually pick up a meal, pick up a meal on the way home, or a few things I need for groceries and all that if I have any money, and just go home. If I have to fill the car with gases, just go home. I just go home right afterwards. Take a long scenic route home, or just go straight home if I'm in a hurry or something like that, or something needs to be done. Simple as that. You know what I mean? And that's how bad the malls have been. I mean, we lost 3 malls in the last 4 years here in the South Coast. I mean, the first mall that we lost was the Harbor Mall, on the new Harbor Mall in Fall River. Remember Harbor Mall? I just remember first going to Harbor Mall was back in the late 80s, and didn't know they had a Kmart in there. I think I went with my aunt and uncle and my cousin because we're celebrating her birthday at Chuck E. Cheese. We all thought Chuck E. Cheese was inside the Harbor Mall, but we found out it was across the street. So that was the first time I heard of Chuck E. Cheese, and I was really excited about going. And they asked me to come along with them, so I said okay, and it was really cool. So yeah, Chuck E. Cheese was one of the coolest things I used to go to when I was a kid back in the day. Let's see. And yeah, and missing my time in the 80s and 90s, man. There's a lot of stuff back then that, there's lots of stuff in my life that I don't want to talk about. Some of the stuff in the 80s and 90s, but I do sometimes I have to get in touch with my past to get in touch with the present. Another store that I miss was Child World. Child World was a toy store, also based in Massachusetts. Like Zare, the store was based in Framingham. Child World it started off in 1972. It was based in a city called Avon, Massachusetts. And I remember it used to be at the North Dartmouth Mall, and I forget the location. I think it was where Eblin's is now at the mall. But it used to be, Child World was a humongous toy store back in the day. And because it was there. Because I totally remember walking in. I used to collect He-Man figures back in the day. And we go in there, get a He-Man figure. But then, get He-Man figures, that's where you find them. Child World, And then Child World moved from the mall to across the street where Ann and Hope Plaza is. Ann and Hope was another store that I miss going. And you know what? Speaking of Ann and Hope, like I said, I think I heard, all y'all heard the story about my mother Christmas shopping with my friend, and and this is what my mother picked me up at Ann and Hope. This was available at Ann and Hope back in the day, in 1990. This is 30 years ago, and it's still in good condition and everything else. I'm not selling it. Don't worry. This was the game I got because this was a Christmas gift given to me by my parents out of love, and so that's why I'm not getting rid of it. This was one of the coolest things ever, and to this day, love this game to this day. And this is my all-time favorite Nintendo game, right here, Super Mario Bros. 3, man. My all-time favorite Nintendo game. That's even crazier to say the least. And my birthday gift is right over here that I got in Child World. Just give me a second here. It had now the regular Nintendo, not the new NES version one. And we just gotta open this thing up all the way. Not this version. I bought this at Games to Go not too long ago. Not this version. This version right here. This version. See? The regular Nintendo Entertainment System. My father got me this for my birthday. Back in 1988. You're talking 32 years ago. 32 years ago. And it still works to this day, but now with the new systems being set up to to accommodate our current smart TVs and all that. It's like no need. But these are good collector's items, and I decided to keep them in the bag just to, lots of equipment that I picked up back in the day. Just give me for a second, folks, here so I can zipper this thing up, and there we go. So, come on now. Figured I'd show you guys. There we go. So that's where we stand right now, as far as that's concerned. But like I said, I think a lot of items have brought me back a lot of memories, picking them up from, eBay and Amazon, which is really, really cool. Those are two of the coolest stores online stores to pick up some stuff of nostalgia, especially eBay. I have a lot of old school cassette tapes from Kmart that I've got off eBay and all, and just it's just mind blowing the way things work nowadays. It's totally insane, to be honest with you. And I just I am very, very thankful that very thankful that I lived my life to this day, and I praise God for that. And so what will happen after this whole thing, after the economy opens up? What's going to happen to these stores, to these malls? And I get a hunch that my mall's not going to last long either because of this, because you're talking about a loss of money, and we could lose a lot of stores, and we can end up losing J.C. Penney. We could end up losing Macy's, because those are, we just opened up Burlington Coat Factory not too long ago. So we'll see. We'll see after everything opens up, unless the governor decides to, like I said, extend the whole thing, which could more than likely happen because New York's extended it to June 7th. So it's something to think about. And it's something to behold, and just it's mind blowing. So I want to thank Fayette Commerce for inspiring me to do this video. We had so many malls that we don't have. We had lost the Harbor Mall in 2016, and three years later, 2019, last year, we lost the Swansea Mall. In fact, it's been over a year since the Swansea Mall has closed down. Now they're starting demolishing parts of the Swansea Mall, which is huge, to say the least. So, and then recently, this year, before this whole pandemic had happened, the Galleria officially closed its doors February 29th, 2020. It's sad that the Galleria is closed, because the Galleria was my second favorite mall to go to. To me, I look at this as a situation. The Harbor Mall, the Swansea Mall, and the Dartmouth Mall were the malls of the 80s. Were the malls of the 80s. Is where the cat's meow was at. To me, the Galleria Mall was the mall of the 90s. Providence Place Mall, to me, mall in the 90s, as well as Emerald Square Mall. I've been to all these malls, and it's amazing that Emerald Square Mall is one of my favorite malls to go to. It's a 3-story mall, had a lot of stores too, a lot of options to go to, and that's what's really cool about it. The Providence Place Mall was one of the most unique malls I went to, and I remember going there for the first time and going to Borders to buy the Doc Stalkers Tribute artwork book by Udon Comics. Capcom made them as well, and it's mind blowing that But nowadays you got these mom and pop stores that local stores that need your support, need our support. It's just unbelievable the way things have changed since this whole thing. And shopping and retail shopping isn't going to be the same ever again after this, and that's something to consider. And I was blessed to experience actual mall shopping. I was blessed to experience all the cool stores from back in the day. I was blessed to, I was blessed. Simple as that. And I'm sure all you youngins will not understand. But man, I wish I was in school back in the day, because I would have done reports on local retailing of the 80s and all that. Just just to learn. If they had 80s history as a class or a subject, I would have aced it, because that's would have been would have been my favorite class. I'd be fascinated with everything about the 80s, and when I was a kid growing up in the 80s, and just from stores to arcades. Dream Machine was an arcade I grew up at, and grew up playing now. Play Arcade supposed to open up this Memorial Day, the end of this month. They're starting to get things to come together and to make sure that everything is operational. An owner by the name of Adam Katz has decided to open up Play Arcade in Union Street. Check that out if you can. Once it opens up, and I'm hoping to let it open up, and hoping to go and check it out myself. So it's going to be something to behold. I'll probably take some pictures, and if there's any favorite arcade games I like, it's something that something really cool. So yeah, even though nowadays we can play arcade games on our emulators on our systems and all that at the comfort of your own home, and thanks to the Nintendo Switch, you get a lot of those arcade archives as well. And so it's mind blowing. You get these, you get these arcade archives, and just totally weak of awesomeness, dude. That's how it works, bro. Oh yeah, I know nowadays, thanks to politics and all that, all the other good stuff that's been going on, all the other great stuff that's been going on in this world, we may not experience it or to enjoy it ever again. And it's sad, but that's the way it is here in this world. And just, what can we do? Retail, the 80s and 90s are dying, and the mall is slowly dying. But this whole thing, this whole period of SDIQ could speed up the process of the extinction of the malls. And there'll be one day we'll be sitting down going, remember when we had our mall and we had all these crazy stores, and that's what we're doing right now, mostly reminiscing. And it'll only be a matter of time, we get that dreaded phone call, or have a meeting and say, hey, listen, our mall is closing. There's nothing we can do. We're all out of a job, and that'll be the date I will not be looking forward to at all. And just even though, and but in a way, silver lining. If there was a silver lining, if that happened, like I said, I don't have to worry about shoveling it the mall anymore. I don't have to worry about working on Thanksgiving morning anymore. That could be the only two things that I probably will not miss if I decide to leave the mall. And so that's probably one thing that one thing personally that I would not miss at all. It's something that it is something that it would be wonderful to have, but what can you say, right? Unbelievable the way things are, the way things have been, and just I praise God for all that He's done for me in my life, and I'm always been thankful. So, and where do we go from here? Well, it's up to us how we shape our country to be. What can I tell you? I want to thank Faded Commerce, like I said, for inspiring this video. Yep, the mall is officially become extinct, an endangered species, shall we say. It'd be tough to preserve this endangered species, but of retail, but who knows for sure. And yep, so when it comes to retailing, the mall is an endangered species, so to speak, quote unquote. And we'll see what happens and in the future. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and hopefully brought you back some memories. Like I said, give my even though my mother has not uploaded any videos on her YouTube, 4 weeks ago she commented on her cousin's video just for support. Cheryl Lima, give her a shout out if she makes any. Give her a subscribe if she makes any videos. My buddy Nick Silveria with Young Nick Music, give him a follow, subscribe as well. Drum Lessons serving Sudbury and Metro West, give them a subscribe as well. And At the Haunted, my good buddy John Wheeler, give him a subscribe as well. Give all these 4 channels a subscribe as well, and tell them Eric Lima sent you, and I'm giving you all guys a shout out because of it, and hopefully, and please be respectful towards, and please be respectful towards these 4 channels, please. I know a lot of people are holding a grudge against me because I blocked them on not only this YouTube channel, but I also blocked them on my old YouTube channel. If you cannot, and I encourage all these 4 channels to block these people if they're disrespectful towards you, if they say a lot of bad things about me and all. So, that way you don't want to hear it. Please do. Please do that. But these 4 channels, please respect them and show them respect, okay? I do appreciate that from you guys wholeheartedly. So, so that's it. That's all the time we have. I have for episode 610. Hopefully I'll get these thumbs episode. I'm really excited. I'm going to try to figure out what games I want to play next and just do that. And we'll see what happens, all right? I'll see you later. You guys have a wonderful day. God bless. Peace. God is good all the time.